So, some people have questions. I have answers. Here's the first one.
Why are men not men anymore? For the past 48 hours, I disassembled a bed, carried it to my car, all the parts, by the way, carried a vanity to my car, loaded it in the car, then drove to the storage unit to help my friend unpack everything, to get it on a gurney, to take the gurney up to the elevator, to take the elevator up to the fourth floor, just to get it to a storage unit, and then have to lift it up again and take it back into the motherfucking storage unit, just to come back down to my car, just to go 5 minutes away, just to load back everything up in my car again. And you mean to tell me, out of the 5 million niggas that I called, and collectively out of me and my friend, that not one of them could come and help me carry a motherfucking mattress?
Well, you have access to all of those men, right? How many of those men actually have access to you? We're not going to kid ourselves and pretend that it's actually 5 million dudes that you actually called when you needed them. But how many of the dudes that you called that can call you when they need you for physical labor? And I'm not talking about moving no couch or whatever the case may be. There's a certain other physical thing that they might want to do with you. How many of them can actually call you and get on the phone and say, hey, you're my girlfriend. I would like to have sex with you. So really, it's about the convenience of you having a boyfriend only when you need a boyfriend. Because the whole time that you haven't needed to move this furniture, you didn't need a boyfriend. See, your question is not about why men aren't men anymore. Your question is, why aren't men continuing to be stupid? Next.
Nowadays, men aren't proper men anymore. And to me, one of the gravest sins a man can commit against a woman is wasting her time. يعني لا أنت جاهز. You're not ready. You're not financially capable. You're not emotionally capable. You're nowhere near ready taking on the responsibility that is caring and protecting a woman. And that's all they seek. It's one of the gravest sins you can commit. Especially that girls are ready. A lot of women are ready. They're like, I want to be married. I want to have children. I want to open a home. And you know that that's what she wants. And you waste her time.
With all the change and progress that women have made, with their evolution that women have made over the last 60 years or so, how can you expect the man to remain the same as what he was 60 years ago? Do you ever find it funny that 60 years ago the women were actually getting all of these things that you're expecting from a man, but now, with all of your changes, you don't get it? In other words, if men are not proper men by the standards of what tradition calls for, then you, the woman, is not a proper woman by the standards of what tradition calls for in women. Next.
If you hurt a good guy, he will never look at you again. He will never even think about you again. It takes a lot for a guy to break up with you. Men don't like to break up with women. Men like to keep women around, and a lot of men will keep a woman to a certain distance to where he can tolerate her, but he won't effectively let her go. A lot of times men will let go of a relationship because of their actions. They'll mess up, they'll start to care less, and it'll often cause the woman to break up with them. The majority of breakups are women breaking up with men. But when a man comes to you and sits you down and says, hey, I don't want to continue this anymore, and he breaks up with you, that is a red flag. That is a 911 emergency. That is something that is typically going wrong, more so with you.
The beginning and end of relationships are dictated by the woman. It just is what it is. In other words, I see what I want, I initiate, but it's on her to accept and start. The end also dictated by women because men typically do not leave or give up on women. Even if he was to break up, it is on her to actually stop the relationship, to stop the sexual activity. In other words, as long as he can, he will. Does not like to be the one to end the relationship because he does not want to. Men, even when they're doing their worst shit, they're still very protective of your feelings as a woman. That's why he will do everything in his power to hide his real feelings. That's why when you ask, why did you do this? He says, oh no, because he really knows, but he doesn't want to destroy your feelings. So just as I stated on a video earlier today, imagine what you have to do in order for a man to actually break up with you. Because a man is so much more likely to cheat on you than to leave you. And every statistical data backs that up, that men are not leaving relationships and marriage. The relationship is so much like calling an Uber. You dictate the start by being where you are, and you also tell him where's the destination. It's his job to drive during the trip. God bless. Show off.